Hey gang, welcome back to Jade's Garage. I know you've been waiting for another video, and here is another video. Now, if you've been following along with the Jade project and building the 68 Mustang, you know that I'm this close to paint. Well, the problem with that is I get this close and then I find little tiny things that aren't right. And if you follow me and you know me, I struggle with the little details of things. So I've been addressing those and taking care of those little things that I know when it has paint on the car, they would pop out. So I have to address those. One of the things I've run into as I was going through the process was my quarter windows. Now I plan to leave the quarter windows in the car because honestly, I've always been a little fearful of those things. Looks like a very complicated thing. Granted, I work on airplanes. I know how to fix things, but I've never liked the way those windows, just the whole mechanism and all that stuff. So I was avoiding, let's say, taking out those quarter windows. Well, I had a conversation with Harvey from Rally Cat Garage, and he talked me through it. And I'm going to show you the steps to taking out the quarter window in a classic Mustang. But let me show you some other things going on and where I'm at with the car. Okay, so as I'm making these preparations, the car has been sanded with 600. Everything's looking great. Fenders look great. Doors, of course, are off the car because I'm going to be jamming everything before I put them back on the car. I've been working on making the extensions. I've added on these bolts so that when it's time to paint, they'll be bolted to the car and leave a gap all the way around so I can spray paint and get the pattern right and also get clear around all the edges. So I'll be doing that to both the extensions in the rear, and also I plan to do that with the extensions for the front. Okay, everything else, I've taken out the seat, I've taken out the steering wheel, partly because I want to be able to spray in here and kind of angled back this direction into the door jamb and all that. So the steering wheel would have been a problem, so it's out of the way. But let's address these quarter windows. As you can see, I've taken out the driver's side. So I have a heads up and a process for that. The problem I ran into, I started to just cycle the window. I wanted to make sure it worked. Well, that was fine until the bracket or the mechanism started bending. And I realized at that point that I need to take these out now. Even that one looks like it is slightly bent. I think it needs to have a bend like that for the way it mounts, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look at the other one on the passenger side and see if things just aren't screwed up, because maybe it should be totally straight. I don't know. But I pulled it out, and we're going to take out the passenger side and get a look at it. Okay, so we all know you turn the crank, the window goes up and down, things go different directions, push, pull, whatever, makes it go up and down. But you want to take the window off of the regulator to start with. To do that, let's see if I can get this up high enough where maybe I can zoom in a little bit. To do that, there is a clip that is around this pin or this piece of plastic. To show you, it looks like this. Here's your roller or slide or guide, whatever, and then here is the clip. Now this has, on the piece of plastic here, it has little grooves cut in it, and the idea is that this clip goes into those grooves and locks it in onto the pin. Okay, so I'm going to take this screwdriver and I'm going to try to hook it into the clip. Find the edge of it and pull it away. Whoops. There you can see the clip. Now what that'll do is it'll allow for the window to come away from the mechanism. The next thing I'm going to do is take out this bottom bolt right here. Get that out of the way. That allows the lower part of the plate to move, or the internal mechanism. And I'm not gonna, there's 2 more bolts to go down through into this plate. I'll show you that in a minute. But you don't want to take those out, or you don't need to take those out just yet. Another thing I need to remove is this bolt here. These are stops for when it goes up and down. So there's one here, and there's a little piece of aluminum that is on the back side. So I'll take that out of the way. So there's your first stop. And put the bolt back in that. There's another one over on this side, which I think I have to go up to get access to that. So it's now visible through this hole. We'll take that one off. Of course I drop it. And now it's, there it is. So there's the second one. Again, put the bolt back in that, don't lose it. Now, what I want to do is come back up, and there's 2 bolts that you can see through these upper holes right here. So there's one there and one there. I'll take those out. Okay, I'm going to remove this track, this rear track. Take that off, and that gives you the shape that I was looking for in that other one. So it does have a slight bend to it, and there's definitely an index of left to right on these. So put the bolt back in that. Now, what I want to do is I've got to be able to work there's a track right here, and you have to get the roller out of this track so that you can manipulate the window. I think what I need to do is it's got to go to the back. So there you go. I'm taking the regulator, cranking it, I guess, as counterclockwise or clockwise in this case, and there it is. So that's now out of the track, which is going to help free everything else up. So I'll pull that down and out of the way, and now we'll move on to getting the window out of the regulator itself. Now if you look at this driver's side window, it has these 2 rollers that are in the front or forward, and then this one that's in the back. So when you work the window up, get this one out first, and then this one, and then this one. So there's the back one, got it loose. Now work this up. There you go. I pivoted. Now, the second one will come out of the track. So there it is. So again, 1, 2, 3. That's your order. Now I plan to go ahead and remove the regulator out of here entirely because I want to clean everything up. You know, make sure everything's going to flow and work properly when it goes back together. So to do that, there are, if you look at this one from the driver's side, there's these 4 bolts. I will point out, there's a difference. My driver's side also had this piece. This isn't on the passenger side. I can show you where that goes though. So on my driver's side, this slotted hole right here actually held this piece. I don't know why it's not on the passenger side, unless maybe this car was built on a Friday and somebody got in a hurry and skipped that part. Apparently, even what Harvey said with his, it really didn't make a difference if it was in there or not. But to remove the regulator, pull these 4 bolts. Well, look at that. It fell out all by itself. Didn't even have to fight with it. It actually fell out easier than me trying to manipulate it out. So now that's out. You can clean up all these rollers. You can buy new ones of these as well. But lots of gummy stuff on these. And then the interior plate will come on the top. So obviously that's never been removed, and somebody has tried to grease these up over the years. So that's how you get these out. Okay, so when you remove these, make sure you identify left and right, put them in a appropriate box or tag them in some way so that you're not fighting with these when you go to put it back together. I did want to point out too, I talked about this plate down here. That's your mount point for the bottom of this. So you can see, you can adjust that in and out, and that'll change the angle of your glass up here. So you can leave that in place if you want, if you're happy with it. If not, take it out, clean it up, but look at how it's positioned before you put it, or before you take it out, so that when you go back in, you're at least close. This is also a good opportunity to clean out this area of your quarter. And if you put on new quarters like I did, you can clean all this out, get seam sealer in there, dress it up, paint it, whatever you need to do to make it look good, and that'll take care of that area as well. So this also gives you more access when you take out all of these pieces. Okay, so when you take these out, take a look at this seal as well. In this case, mine is bad. So I'll need to replace that seal. I can see that there is a screw right here. I have not messed with these, but I would assume that you take out that screw and you get the seal out. Along with that, there are 2 screws back here on the stainless. Again, I would assume you take those 2 screws out. This would allow for the stainless piece to come off, which will allow you to remove your glass. And if you're looking at replacing your chrome piece, which in my case really sucks. This has got a lot of pitting in it, but I don't know that I want to actually do that. But I'm just saying, if you were looking at doing that, you can do that. Now this glass is actually green because my car had factory AC. So remember that if you're trying to replace the glass, that you want to stay with the same color that matches all the other glass in your car. Again, I'll point out, you can rebuild these. You can buy these rollers. If they're in good shape, clean them up and reuse them, but by all means, make sure you clean them up. Put on some good grease. I think they used, I don't know what they used back then, but it gums them up. And when these are cleaned up and working properly, these windows go up and down really nice. That'll be the end of this video. I hope you found some good information in there. I know I always avoided these, removing them, and of course they have to go back in, but when you have a problem with them, it's better to deal with it now than after the car is painted and finished. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I want to point out that I have patrons that support me on this channel. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link down below in the description. Also, I have an Amazon page listed. So if you want to buy something, I have products listed on Amazon. And even if you just want to buy something for the house or whatever, if you go through my link, I get a little percentage of that, and every little bit helps in making these videos. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See you.